Hi everyone, this is Lloyd Quanto for SkedLIVE.com. It's Friday, March 6th, and here are today's top stories. The RCMP has revealed the cell phone video of Parliament Hill shooter Michael Shahif Bibo. He stated in the video he was protesting against Canadian military involvement in Afghanistan and Iraq. Authorities said Bibo made the short video just before the attacks on October 22nd last year. These attacks and growing concerns of terrorism were the reason Prime Minister Stephen Harper's government drafted a new security law on January 30th. According to the Toronto Star, a man was struck and killed in Mississauga this morning. The 47-year-old man exited a taxi at Winston Churchill Boulevard. A truck swerved to avoid the parked cab, hitting the pedestrian. Peel Region paramedics said the victim died on the scene. Police say the driver fled the scene but has since been taken into custody. Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne has announced a 3-year, $41 million initiative against sexual assault and violence. The announcement included a 36-page action plan titled It's Never Okay, as well as a new advertising campaign titled #WhoWillYouHelp. This Sunday March 8th marks International Women's Day. According to the website dedicated to the event, there are more than 140 events in Canada to celebrate the occasion. The website says the day was made in the early 1900s to fight for women's rights. Striking U of T teaching and lab assistants held rallies throughout the university downtown campus today. SkedLIVE reporter Aaron Fuff has the story. Check out his report at skedline.com. At York University, the union representing teaching assistants are back at the bargaining table today. QP 3903 chairman says both sides are exchanging proposals through provincially appointed conciliator. The union has been on strike since Tuesday, forcing the cancellation of classes. The Toronto Star is reporting the Spadina subway extension into York University is $400 million over budget. The extension was announced in March 2006 at a budget of $1.5 billion. Since then, it has been announced at $2.5 billion. The project was expected to be completed by this year. It is now expected to be done by June 2017. Now we will go to Sahini Mandel for the weather forecast.
Thanks, Lloyd. I went out with Nakshi Pandit and we spoke to some people about their plans for the weekend and how they are enjoying the weather.
There's a bit of snow still blanketing the ground in early March. Some people around Lakeshore shared how they are going to take advantage of the weather. Joe Briga shared his weekend plans.
I really have to think about it. Maybe an extra hour walking my dog, or just enjoying the sunlight, extra vitamin D.
Joe Cordera had similar plans.
I'm going to be spending my weekends up north, hopefully doing some tubing and some snowboarding.
There was a sentiment shared by most people as Sunday will be giving us an extra hour of daylight because of daylight savings time. Isabel Nunes plans to spend quality time with her family.
Yes, hopefully I get to go skating with this little guy and my daughter as well, and my husband.
It doesn't even look like we have a skate.
I'm out here skating, enjoying the sunny weather, and it's great.
It's safe to say that most people are looking forward to the extra hour of daylight, especially with warmer days ahead. Back to the studio.
And early on next week. Today will be sunny with a high of -5 and a low of -12. Saturday will have scattered flurries with a high of 0 and a low of -7. Sunday will be mainly sunny with a high of 1 and a low of -6. Monday will be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 2 and a low of -3. Tuesday will be mainly sunny with a high of 5 and a low of -5. Wednesday will continue to be mainly sunny with a high of 6 and a low of -1. Also, don't forget to set your alarm clocks an hour ahead on Sunday for daylight savings time. I'm Sahini Mandel, now back to the studio.
Thanks, Sahini. The Canadian dollar has dropped in value against the US dollar today. It has been hit by poor news, including the January trade deficit and US job growth in February. The Canadian trade deficit hit $2.4 billion, hurt by the cheap oil, which is Canada's main export. The Canadian government raised $2 billion in an auction of wireless spectrum this week. The big winners were Alberta-based TELUS Mobility and Ontario-based Wind Mobile. Struggling company Moblicity pulled out of the auction shortly before it began. Rogers Communications Inc. also did not win any spectrum. Quebecor Inc., a Quebec-based telecom, won bids in both Ontario and Quebec despite rumors of a Canada-wide expansion. The Conservative government plans to add more spectrum this year. Now we turn it over to sports with Nima Rajan with sports.
Thanks, Lloyd. Here's your sports update for today. The Leafs lost 4-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning last night. And in other NHL news, the LA Kings won 4-3 in a shootout last night against the Habs. The LA right winger, Marian Gaborik, scored the winning goal against the Habs netminder Dustin Todarski. The defending Stanley Cup champs were thrilled to win their first shootout since October 16th when the Kings won against St. Louis. Former Ottawa Senators captain Daniel Alfredson received a key to the city last night. Ottawa honored Alfredson for his contributions on and off the ice. Alfredson was the captain for the Senators for 13 of his 17 seasons and is known for his contributions to local Ottawa charities. Raptors play the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Sunday is rest day, but the Raps will be ready to hit the court Sunday when they face the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7. Jays lost 5-0 to the Baltimore Orioles yesterday. The Boys of Summer batter up against the O's this afternoon at 1:07 Eastern Standard Time in Dunedin, Florida. And just so you know, guys, it's a sunny 22 degrees down there today. So the Jays really are the Boys of Summer. India wins against the West Indies in the Cricket World Cup by 4 wickets today. Captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni leads India to victory with a calm 45, which helped them secure a place in the quarterfinals. Milos Raonic is leading Canada's team in the Davis Cup, and Raonic seems ready for the challenge. This has been Nima Rajan for Sports. Now back to you, Lloyd.
Thanks, Nima. Jordanian protesters are taking part in a march against a government agreement to import natural gas from Israel. Protesters were seen holding up signs that read, "The enemy's gas is occupation." The value of the agreement between the two countries is set at $15 billion US. A mob in India broke into a jail yesterday and killed a prisoner accused of rape. The 35-year-old businessman was dragged out of the jail by the mob and was taken into the streets where he was beaten to death.
We have curfew is imposed, 144 CRBC, and then those breakers, they are being arrested. The situation was very tense, but then from today it has subsided, and then no reports have received by the police.
5 pedestrians are injured in Jerusalem after Palestinian motorist drives his car into a crowd. After the crash, the driver got out of the car and tried to stab bystanders before he was shot by police. The wounded suspect was taken into custody.
The Israeli police and its different units responded to a terrorist attack this morning, just a short while ago on the number 1 road. What we know until now is that a suspect was driving in his vehicle, ran over 6 police officers that were at the junction. This is the same junction where there was a terrorist attack that took place a couple of months ago. Our police units responded, and the suspect was apprehended. We have 6 police officers, 6 women now in light to moderate condition that have been taken to the hospitals in Jerusalem. The suspect himself is also being treated. We're looking at the moment to see where he's from, the background, but we've confirmed that it was a terrorist attack that took place here in Jerusalem this morning on Purim, here at the scene.
According to the World Health Organization, the final trials of a Canadian-made Ebola vaccine will begin in Guinea tomorrow. Guinea is one of the 3 countries the most affected by the deadly disease. The vaccine is currently being tested in Liberia, while Sierra Leone is expected to announce trial testing soon. Next, we have Marissa Rolls with entertainment news.
Legendary action star Harrison Ford survives a real-life encounter with death. His single-engine World War II-era training plane crashed into the greens at Penmar Golf Course in Venice, California yesterday. It took off from the Santa Monica Airport less than 4 miles from the crash. The cause was engine trouble. He survived, but with minor injuries. He is expected to make a full recovery. Good thing too, last week Harrison Ford signed on to a sequel for Blade Runner. Adam Sandler and Bob Barker are fighting again. Comedy Central uploaded a video of the duo reliving the Happy Gilmore scene on YouTube yesterday. The only difference? The 2 actors look like they have aged quite a bit. The teaser is to promote Comedy Central's night of Too Many Stars. the event where all the proceeds go to benefiting autism programs. Martha Stewart and Shaquille O'Neal have both been confirmed as guests to Comedy Central's Roast of Justin Bieber. Hosted by the roast master Kevin Hart, expect to hear from comedians such as Hannibal Buress and Jeffrey Ross, along with other celebrities like Ludacris and Snoop Dogg, who will poke fun at the Canadian celebrity. The roast airs on March 30th. Ronda Rousey is lucky to receive the only free ticket to the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight May 2nd. There's been a long-standing rivalry between the light welterweight champions. The fight is expected to bring in the most money for a single sporting event. Other celebrities like Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Rihanna are eligible for free tickets, but for a small price. In exchange for being a walking advertisement, they can get a front row seat. Known as the Festival of Colors, Holi is an ancient Hindu religious festival celebrated around the world. Holi is a sign of spring and a celebration of love. Participants get to shower each other with colored dry powder and colored water. The color fight takes place outside on the streets as a countrywide celebration. Dogs are dressing up and putting their best foot forward for what is the world's largest dog show. The Crust Dog Show is taking place in Birmingham, Central England. It has the highest number of international participants. Travelers come from as far as South Korea, Brazil, and Canada to show off their prize-winning pooches. The dog show started yesterday and ends on the 8th. It's a big weekend at the box office for Slumdog Millionaire's Dev Patel. The actor stars in two of this weekend's big releases. Chappie, from the same director of District 9, is about a robot that can feel and think for himself. Patel also stars in the second best exotic Marigold Hotel, the sequel to the 2012 hit. Quezon City in the Philippines is where art comes to life. The Art and Island Museum is considered to be one of the biggest 3D art museums in Asia. The museum encourages visitors to pose for pictures with the artwork. The museum holds some of the largest 3D art pieces. I must say, that is pretty neat. I'm Marissa Rolls. That is all your entertainment news for today. Now back to you, Lloyd.
Thanks, Marissa. We would like to give a very happy birthday to Toronto. Toronto turns 181 today. With spring just around the corner, don't forget to move your clocks an hour ahead before you go to sleep Saturday night. Daylight savings time begins on Sunday. And that's the end of SkedLIVE. For more stories, check out skedline.com. Have a great weekend.